The PL Show is brought to you by Kel Charcoal, Kel 360, and Kel Kids Toothpaste. Hello and welcome to today's edition of the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. On the PL Show, we get to celebrate phenomenal ladies, and you know, these women have made some giant strides in their fields of endeavor. And today's show is no exception, but there's this quote that says that no one became successful without taking chances. My guest for today has taken a lot of chances. She's an author. She's a communication and leadership coach. Well, it turns out also that she's a toastmaster. Mrs. Patricia Mensah-Larkai. She's my guest for today, but we'll get talking right after this break. You know that the PL Show is proudly brought to you by Kel Toothpaste, is the Kel Charcoal, Kel 360, and Kel Kids. With Kel is always a happy smile. I am Emefa, Apawu, and this is the PL Show. Please stay with us. We're right back.
Brush, 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 brush your teeth. Brush, 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 2 times a day. Brush with Kel Kids.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kel Kids Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky chicky whiter, chicky chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel Kids. Happy smile.
Welcome back to the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. As always, we're brought to you by Kel Charcoal, Kel 360, and Kel Kids Toothpaste. With Kel is always a happy smile. My guest today always wears that happy smile. Welcome, Mrs. Mensah-Larkai.
Thank you very much, Emefa.
It's
Thanks
good
for
to
having
see
me.
you. You're of many parts, but let's first clear the air on who a Toastmaster is.
A Toastmaster is basically an individual who has placed themselves in a space where they can improve their communication and leadership skills. And by being able to hone and sharpen these skills, we assume that in the old fashion you can propose a toast. I guess that is what form part of building up or coming up with the name Toastmaster, not necessarily preparing toast with bread.
Well, who would you say you are?
I'll say Jifa, as you rightly said, is a very purpose-driven woman. Growing up, I was brought up my late parents. One was a military officer and then the other a policewoman. And so you can already preempt that we were quite in a home that nurtured us to be disciplined.
Mother police, father military.
Yes.
How did you cope?
You had to cope. You had to cope, but then they used the carrot and stick approach. So we didn't feel fearful or threatened being in the home. We were made to actually embark on different adventures. And so there were times when in school you will find me basically being in every club and any club as long as extracurricular activities are concerned. I started off my primary school with the Central Kotoka Primary and GHS, and you would find me in the cultural drama group. You would find me in those days in the by the fireside where we had Mame Dokno come in and take a few of us through the drama and all that goes into coming out with their production. I was also in the choir, taekwondo club.
Oh.
And so I would say that I was quite adventurous growing up.
What would you say your growing up in terms of the background and how liberal your parents were, in spite of people thinking that they would be strict disciplinarian that would not allow you the free room or the freedom to do all that you were able to do? How has it shaped you, you'd say?
I would say that, as my late father would say, he tried to create a conducive environment where even as children, if we found that our mom or our dad was doing something that was wrong, we were given that freedom to, in a nice way, I'll say that, Mom, you're wrong, or Dad, you're wrong at this stage. We were also made aware at a very early stage that if you want to make a difference, then you really need to ensure that you're looking out for the opportunities that are out there and then standing out, because there are so few opportunities and so many people working towards these same opportunities. So you always had to find a certain zone in which you could distinguish yourself. So we were challenged to excel.
Well, I didn't get to hear how many other siblings you have.
I'm second of 4 children, 3 girls, and then the last born being a boy. I remember also growing up, I was always tagging along my elder sister. Wherever she was going, I would love to be with her. And at a very early stage, she was part of the Evergreen Club of Ghana. And that club was basically nurturing the students to be conscious about the environment and all of that. When I joined her, I just loved the fact that you get to go for
On
meetings
excursions and
on
all.
Saturdays and plant trees, water them. And it was an opportunity again to get out of the house and just mingle. And through that, I had what I would call my breakthrough aha moments, because at the age of 13, I was fortunate to be part of those that were selected. I mean, 2 of us were selected to attend a conference in Geneva, Switzerland.
Okay.
That was the Coalition of the Children of the Earth Summit. And it was actually an aftermath of the Rio de Janeiro conference that was held in Brazil that has become the basis of the SDG goals that we all talk about. And we were all taught to think about the rise of children. What are some of the things that as children we can speak about and also add our voices so that there will be changes made in the communities that will favor children and give us an opportunity as we grow.
It takes me to our Seed to Oak segment. I'll get to the oak part after we watch this. Is the Seed to Oak, brought to you by Kale Kids Toothpaste. Brushing time has been made very easy now because the Kale Kids Toothpaste is strawberry flavored, is FDA approved. It makes it easy for our children to brush their teeth now. Let's get into the Seed to Oak for Patricia Mensah-Larkai. Wow, the transformation there, but the smile never changed at some point. Well, but I see that you received a number of awards. I think it's one of the speech and prize giving days. It takes us then to walk us through the education, because I know at 13 you went to Geneva.
When I was returning, we had an episode. There was a turbulence. We thought we were actually going to crash because the aircraft descended so low, but I admired how the flight attendants were walking to and fro and trying to calm everybody down. That also sowed a different seed in me. I began thinking of how can I make an impact, travel the whole world, and it just dawned on me, if I were an air hostess, then I could basically travel the world. So that at that little age was something that I was looking forward to. And my dad would always talk about the fact that Ghana is surrounded by French countries, and so you needed to learn a bit of French. I began looking out for schools and places where I could nurture this dream. Accra Girls at the time, with the general arts, was offering geography. I thought I would learn more about the world, our continents through that. So that is what took me to Accra Girls. When I got there, I realized that they didn't offer French as part of the geography economics package. So I had spoken to my dad. I had wanted to move, but then he was battling a health challenge. He had cancer, and so it was a tough moment for the family. But he encouraged me that it doesn't matter if I'm able to complete my SSS, there will be opportunities out there for me to continue learning the language. And so I persevered. Again, in Accra Girls, I was part of the SU. So prayers, of course, was a seed I sowed early into my life. And I think it helped me. I went through a lot of challenges while I was in school. But then by God's grace, I was able to make it. And on those 2 occasions, it was a prize for economics, and the second one was a prize for geography. So after Accra Girls, a lot of my colleagues at the time, there was a craze about going for computer classes whilst waiting for your results. And so because I was part of the computer club, I had learnt a lot. So I used that opportunity to attend the Alliance Française school. As my dad promised, he was able to support me through that. And up until level 500, I was able to sit for my diplôme de langue and was able to pass. Afterwards, I still had the dream of becoming a flight attendant. So I quickly went to the Ghana Airways training school at the time. I did ticketing and reservations. Ghana Airways wasn't recruiting air hostesses at that time. So I thought if I were in the airline industry somewhere, it would be easier to get my foot through the door. And God being so good, right after the ticketing and reservation program, I got the information that they were recruiting, letters were sent out, and another whole journey started. And I got to join the Millennium Batch, that is year 2000 batch of flight attendants.
How was the experience, you'd say?
It was a lovely experience that spanned about 5 years until the airline was liquidated. As you mentioned, we had our own episodes of turbulence. I remember when we were having a co-shared opportunity with an airline called Million Air. I had my own challenge or experience where we thought we were going to belly land in Accra. So we actually put passengers through all the brace positions, getting ready. But luckily when we got to Accra and touched down, the landing gears came out well. And it was jubilation afterwards. And I know for a lot of people who use Ghana Airways, they realized we had that trademark. Most of the time, no matter what happens up in the air, once we touch down, it's a smooth landing and you would hear people clapping. Yes, so
I hope you didn't forget the promise you made yourself when you were young, that by traveling the world, you ought to make that impact.
Exactly.
Were you able to?
I was. When the airline collapsed, there was one time somebody sent me a message. It was about an experience she had on board, and I was on the flight. And it's about, women, much more feminine. But then she remembered just that act where she was able to ask for something to help keep her personal, hygiene intact, and I was able to help it. And so a lot of the times I tell people that making impact in the lives of people is not always at the pinnacle. Sometimes it's just a little different, just giving somebody that reassurance that they can make it, they can persevere, and so get to achieve what they have set themselves to achieve makes a lot of difference.
Well, then it took us to becoming a leadership coach, communication expert, public speaker, author. From that, how did that transition occur?
After Ghana Airways collapsed, I had to lean on the other educational qualifications and skills that I had gathered. Whilst in Ghana Airways, I was still pursuing courses. I wanted to be part of management in future. So when the airline collapsed, I was on my third program for a 3-year diploma package with IATA through Singapore distance learning. One of the courses was on customer service, and through that I was able to get the job of a front desk executive at CDH Financial Holdings. From CDH, I went on to work with the U.S. Embassy in Accra as a supervisor for the switchboard. Sometimes in Ghana, we look at the age differences and we tend to have some perceptions about who can be your boss and all that. I was supervising a team who were fairly older than me and looking at this teeny tot coming in and trying to, again, be wild about how we can be more efficient, how we can achieve more success in our field, how we can be more relevant in our space. I was challenging them to do things that they felt, we could do the usual and just, but I didn't want the usual. I was always looking for something much more higher. And I realized that I needed to learn how to adjust to leading people in those spaces. And it got me interested in Toastmasters. A friend at the time invited me, and since April 2010, I just fell in love with the program because the program had so many channels to help one actually put themselves in a space where you're practicing to lead. not just lead, but lead in teams, work on yourself, improve your communication and your leadership styles so that you can get results from those that you work with.
Okay, and I know about the Perissos chat room. Let's talk about it.
2019 COVID happened. Most of us got stuck. And so I thought, why just stay in the house, basically not doing much. At the time, I had been mentoring and coaching a few people before leaving Ghana. And I was also the convener for World Speech Day, a platform that offers people an opportunity to share their thoughts on an annual basis. And just taking opportunity of the virtual world, I decided to come up with the Perissos Horizon chat room where I could still invite people to come and share their stories, tell people about their journeys, just as you're doing, so that somebody out there can still feel inspired to pursue their dreams.
Is the 360 segment here on the PL show is brought to you by Kel 360. It has that minty, cool, essence that gives you that fresh breath all day, and is safe for use for the entire family. It's also FDA approved, and with Kel, it's always a happy smile.
Patricia Mensah-Larkai loves to empower women, making sure their skills are utilized to its full capacity. Impacting women positively has always been a goal Patricia wants to see accomplished. Patricia Mensah-Larkai is an administrator working with the Ghana Boundary Commission.
So this is you in 360, and everywhere I see that there's an award, there's an award, there's an award. What really is the drive? How does it happen? So that maybe we can all also start receiving some of these awards.
Emefa, in every field, I believe that there is a path. And when you chart the path, it leads you somewhere. When I joined Toastmasters, it was all about improving my leadership skills so I can get more cooperation and collaboration with my team so we can achieve our results. But then I realized that in Toastmasters, there was this opportunity that was missing in Ghana. And through attending conferences with the other West African countries that also had Toastmasters, I learned that there were so many people who were distinguished Toastmasters. And I began looking for what do I have to do in order to excel and grow through this program so I can also become a distinguished Toastmaster. I think for a lot of people, it was basically that short-term opportunity just to build their public speaking skills. So most people didn't pursue the program to the very end. But somewhere along the line in 2014, I realized that we were missing a lot, and I started looking for that path. Through that, I was able to complete what we call the communication track, the leadership track, went on to complete the advanced levels where we had them in gold, silver, and bronze. Up until 2016, I still wasn't getting to the last mark, which was for you to be able to inspire enough people so that they create a new club or a new chapter of the Toastmasters branch in your area. And it was when I was able to join other team members and birth Perissos Horizon Toastmasters Club that I won the recognition for the first female distinguished Toastmaster in Ghana. And I didn't want it to end there. I wanted to show many more the path. And so I kept on the journey to become part of the new educational program leaders that was in Pathways. So being a Pathways guide and a Pathways ambassador for District 94P at the time, which comprises West and Central African Toastmasters, I was able to become the first female distinguished Toastmaster as well in Pathways in October of 2018. And I'm happy to say that through the inspiration, the training, the coaching that I gave to others, a lot more that passed through Perissos Horizon Toastmasters Club have also become distinguished Toastmaster in less than 2 years.
Okay.
And I think it was through some of those activities that the awards came about, because there's a clear path to what you have to do, and if you distinguish yourself enough, then the district through the headquarters recognizes your efforts.
So within all this period, at what point were you able to author 2 books?
It was 2017. I had just finished off my contract with the Australian High Commission, where I was attached to the New Zealand office. My boss at the time had been promoted to serve in the High Commission in Paris. And I felt it was time for me to put my journey into a book. I love to mentor and coach people, but you can't always do that either one-on-one or in groups. And I got the opportunity to attend a book writing masterclass with Bernard Kelvin Clive, and it spurred me on to put my thoughts into these books. I started off with 1 book actually, but then someone challenged me and said, why would you write a book about women or men being fearless and forget about sharing all that you have gotten out of Toastmasters? So I decided, why not write a book on public speaking as well? So I actually started off with the intention of coming out with Fearless, Fabulous, and Flamboyant. And it turned out that it was important for me to also bring out a book on public speaking and how one can develop their skills in that area. So that was what birthed the 2 books.
What is it about public speaking that is so difficult?
The thought of you failing, but once you come to the terms of realizing that you need to be aware of the fear, but then know what you can do to overcome the fear. And we all go through it. No matter where you are in life, you still go through the challenge where you're fearful about what your audience is perceiving about the message that you're conveying. But then if you know what you want to achieve, you focus on that instead of focusing on the fear. And that helps you to overcome that fear of public speaking.
I have copies of the 2 books that you've written so far right here. So Fearless, Fabulous, and Flamboyant, that certainly should be for me. And then Untangling That Tongue, No More Fear of public speaking. So within how many months or days? I'm sure this will be days for you.
Between December of 2017 until the book was launched in 2018, I had put my thoughts down.
Okay.
But a lot of it, you realize what we call brain dumping. So brain dumping, you're basically thinking about all the things you wish to share with people. My focus was on especially leadership development. What are the things that you need to learn or be aware of to build those leadership skills? What are the characteristics, the qualities that a leader must have? And how do we form or shape those things? And that is what I gathered and put into the book.
For those out there who would want a copy of the 2 books, where can they get it?
So the books are available on Amazon, Kindle, and also in paperback. But for those in Ghana, you can send me a WhatsApp message and I would make delivery available to you.
Let's talk about your drive to empower women. I see a bit of why you loved to do that, but let's hear it.
I believe that there's so much that as women we have to offer, and we stop short whenever we come, to a stage, what I will call a horizon, where you feel there are too many voices either speaking against what you're embarking on or what you're doing. And so there's the need to have another woman tell you that it is okay. It is okay for you to dream big. It is okay for you to want to be better. It is okay for you to want to rise to the highest echelon of wherever you find yourself. And that is what I do, especially when I'm mentoring and coaching people. In Toastmasters, I've met a lot of women that at a point felt they couldn't pursue their dreams. But then through coaching and then them simply seeing that you're doing something purposefully and achieving your own dreams helps them to overcome that fear and push through the barriers. And that is something that I'm really passionate about. I still do that, especially with the chat room series and also with the annual event of World Speech Day, having more women come up and tell us what they're doing.
Yeah, it looks like there's something about your upbringing, which is the military background, that draws you to things about, you know, protecting your country and the people in it, amongst others. I know you had short stints at the Kofi Annan Peacekeeping Training Center.
That's right.
Now the Boundaries Commission, also trying to keep our territory as well. What is it about the military? It appears you're married to a military man as well. I picked that up when you said your husband was training at the time. So what is it about it? Looks like you don't want to move away from it. Tell us about the Kofi Annan Peacekeeping Training Center, the Boundaries Commission, and then we'll talk about your husband.
Yeah, so again, my drive is all about contributing towards the good of Mother Ghana. Who wouldn't want to be part of the journey and the story? At the Kofi Annan, I was working with the Human Resource Unit, but at the Boundary Commission, I am the administrator.
So that's interesting. But I was talking about your lovely husband. You're talking about him also. He's also a military man.
Yes, he is. He exemplifies what I would say is now termed he for she's. He supports women. He has been of immense support. If I didn't have him, I don't know what I would have done. He is a heli pilot in the Ghana Air Force. Currently, he is the Accra Air Force Base Commander in the person of Air Commodore Patricia Mensah-Larkai. And I appreciate him a lot for all the opportunities that he gives to me.
I see the spark in your eyes talking about your husband. We'll come back to that. It's definitely an area that I'm very interested in, because your boss at the Boundary Commission, Major General Kotia, Emmanuel Kotia, always boasts that military men makes the best husbands.
Yes.
That's debatable, but we'll get back to it so that I hear your opinion on that. But it takes me to the DIY segment, which is brought to us by Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. There were the days that we used to use plantain peduncle and charcoal just to give us that white teeth and also the fresh breath back in the day. That is a thing of the past. You don't have to do that anymore. All you need is the Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Gives you the same effect, even better, and also gives you that fresh breath all day long. It's also approved by the FDA and is safe for use of the entire family.
I would like to take you through briefly how I'm able to bring the Perissos Horizon chat room series live on my YouTube, also on Facebook and on other channels. StreamYard is the tool that I use for my live feeds. This is the dashboard of the StreamYard free version. And if you want to create a feed, you go on to create a broadcast. You would go on to new broadcast. You have to choose a platform on which to go live. I'm going to click on Facebook. And it gives you the chance to create a title. It gives you the opportunity to schedule it for later, but we're going to just go ahead and say create broadcast. This will take you into the studio and it would give you an opportunity to either click on the live feed or not. This is where your camera and mic are tested by StreamYard to be sure it's working. As you can see, I have the green telling me my mic is working, and I can also see myself, meaning the video is working. Now we enter the studio. This is how the StreamYard studio looks like. If you're going live and you want to give yourself a countdown, you can also have the countdown video come up, and then it sort of gets your audience ready to be part of your show. If you have a guest in the studio, you can have different formats in which your audience can view you. If you have more than 2 guests or you have 3, it would also put them in different quadrants of your screen. So this is basically how the back end of the StreamYard works. You can have your laptop, your strong internet connection. If you have good lighting, you can set up anywhere and go live with your audience.
Mommy.
Mama Josie. Fe. Yeah.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Sankofa.
Yenchi, Kale Chocolate Toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Well, it looks like you do it all, everything for yourself. And that's very great that you're able to share that with us. So how many times in a week, for instance, do you get to do this?
I used to do it every month, twice in a month. But then last year, I lost my mom and I went off for a while. But we're going to start again this year and have it monthly so that people can still tune in and listen to the inspirational stories of others.
Sorry about your loss, though. I'll take you back to that controversial issue that we're talking about. I see that the spark is coming back again because you're talking about your husband. That's very interesting. Okay, so is it true, like Major General Kotia said, that military men make the best husbands?
Once you're mentioning my boss's name and his quote, I agree with him.
You can't dispute it. No, but
honestly, I believe that the sort of discipline that they go through, the training, and also the ethics that they're held to. So they're held to a lot of standards. And obviously, when they're with their spouses, they want to also ensure that their spouses are also looking good. Not just in terms of outward appearance. So they do take care of their wives.
Wow. Okay. I'll get to a surprise I have for you shortly. You're ready? Are you ready? What do you see?
Ah.
Why are you laughing? What do you see? Who is that?
My husband.
Your husband. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, the first husband. You heard her. My husband, she says. How are you doing?
Yes, I heard it loud and clear.
Yeah, we salute you, sir. Are you on the field?
Yeah, I'm on the golf course.
Oh, okay. Thank you for taking time off. Before we start, there's this saying that I've heard Major General Kotia say that military men make the best husbands. Is that the case?
I would agree with him.
Why not? Why is that the case?
Because military men are disciplined, and as part of our training, we are supposed to be an officer and a gentleman. One of the attributes of a good officer is being able to take care of your family well and to make sure that you are a responsible family man.
Okay, well, I've heard all about the discipline and all. Let's see how publicly romantic military men are. Your wife is here with me. I'm sure you have a few words for her.
My wife is a very loving wife, very caring about the family, and she's more like a mother hen for her family. She takes good care of her family. I would say she's quite strict and a disciplinary because the mom is a police officer and the father is a military police officer. So you can tell the type of discipline she comes into the home with. And I respect her for that. I wouldn't like to change her with anybody, and I'm blessed to have her. I wish her well, and I urge her to continue to be the good wife that she is. I pray for long life and good health for her.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, maybe briefly, you would want to hear from her just before we let you off.
I really appreciate him. Not a lot of men would be eager to push their women to aspire for greatness, but he does that so well, and I am deeply grateful and I love him.
Yay. Well, I'm sure you will win the competition after this. We wish you well.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a blessed birthday. Bye.
You too. Bye. And that's I hope I was able to surprise you.
Oh, Oh my God.
Before we let you off, though, it's a tradition here, and we can give you for all the time that you spent with us and inspiring all of us. This is from us to you, a small token from the team. This is from Samara Company Limited, producers of Kale toothpaste, Kale 360, Kale charcoal, and Kale Kids toothpaste, and of course the Sasso. And then the Sasso mosquito spray, Roma insecticide, and then the Sasso and Roma mosquito coils. This is from us
Thank
to
you
you.
so
I'll take
much.
the book,
Thank you.
and
The-
then
the book is actually for
Yay,
you.
thank you. I'll be
Thank you
fabulous.
so,
I'll be
so
fearless
much.
and flamboyant. But you know, the queen that you are always deserves to sit on a stool. But this one is a small stool. That's epitomizes
Wow.
the person that you are. So this is from us to you.
Thank you
Anytime
so
you
much.
see it, remember that you are certainly a queen and deserves a throne.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
And that's it from us today. Have a good day.
Love is sweet, pass sobolo, sobolo, sobolo is sweet, K-O-E-I, Wodona Kama commemorate, paint, smile, mami, chanche, faint, kron kron radio.